Well, when they started to investigate how this Shy Boy thing was coming along, the National Enquirer offered this man, his name is Pat Russell, $10,000 to tell the full story and come completely around with it. And they wanted to defraud Monty's ability to do what it was that they were doing, or expose it, or whatever you want to call it. And he's not being a hugely wealthy man by any means, said, I will only say one thing. If you put the Monty in the middle of nowhere with horses around him, he would come riding home on one. He has that much talent and ability to communicate and get things done. And so a lot of the controversy goes beyond the books and the things that go on. And as nice as it was that Alan and I were had a dedication to us when he put out the book From My Hands to Yours, there's a lot of things that you wished had never taken place too. So to come full circle, to expose people that all of a sudden take interest in it, as all of you have, in whatever way you can, makes that next step and say, we don't want to go down a dead-end road. We don't want it. I was in Reno, Nevada, and they have a reined cow horse competition. 3 separate events, right? Now, I was born and raised on a 60,000 acre ranch, cattle, so forth. All the horses we ever grew up with were already gentle, good riding horses. So, but anyway, to get back to being in Reno, my brother, younger brother, who had only lived in Nevada most of his life, came to the horse show. And he said, well, tell me what the point is. I said, well, there's 3 separate events. The cutting, the reining, and the fence work. And he said, what? Well, I said, I know what the cutting probably is about, and I can figure out what the reining is about. What is the fence work? And I said, well, they let one cow out, and you will show that you have the ability to hold it at one end of the arena with your horse. Then you release it down the fence. You follow it, and then you accelerate and go on by and turn the cow back the other way. And you race back down the fence, turning back the other way. And you race back down the other fence. And he said, he stopped me right there and he said, what are they trying to do? I said, you're showing the judges that the horse and the rider have the ability to control the cow. And he said, what do you mean control the cow? We're in an arena. How much more control do you need? But again, that's how big is big, what is open, and what is truth. Yeah? Is that helpful? So we eventually took him out to a preserve and turned him back out with a rest environment all around him, which you're familiar with.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah. So those things are around. How you make them work is somewhat difficult. who buys the hay that feeds them, who buys the trailer that hauls them, who buys the truck that pulls the trailer. I have challenged some of my very best friends when they started roping, rodeoing, that kind of stuff, showing horses. I said, I want an actual accounting of how much you spent on your truck, on your trailer, on your gasoline, on your hay, on your boarding, on your saddles. And I want all of this, you know, in one, just like and then I want to know on the other side how much you won doing this event.
I suspect it's very lopsided.
And I said, when you win $20,000, I will give you $20,000. Meaning when your books are balanced to the plus side. But it is entertainment, enjoyment, recreation, whatever you'd like to call it. And that had already been gilded. Now, I'm going to ask Anna this because I can't remember if I was there and sent Anna in to work with this horse, or whether it was some other female person. And what he would do, I don't know, have all of you had the chance of working with a round pin rather than the rectangular pin? Mm-hmm. Quite a bit of better, a lot of more efficiency in the circular pin, especially with the solid walls and so on. Okay. So this horse came to us, and I sent one of the young ladies in there, and she moved him on around, and he said, oh, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to stop and back up, and I'm going to kick you. And literally, I was quite astounded how far he would keep backing up and try to kick her. And she was running and moving and trying to get in position. I was trying to position her, couldn't get it done, couldn't get it done. I had to get her out of there. I literally have seen Monty one time climb the walls of the round pen to get out from violent horses. And then sit down, think about it, and begin to work his way through it again. But it was quite a feat to jump the 8-foot wall and grab on the top and get over the top before your leg got bit. Anyway, so I went over and got one of the young men that was there training performance horses. And I brought him over and I said, now when you go in there, I told him just what I had said. And I said, be ready for what goes on. Well, he was sharp enough and quick enough to allow the horse to chase him around backwards until what? Got tired. And then he was, then he began to move to where the front end was, and the horse kept facing his, bringing his rear around. So he began to make that circle and say, "You want to spin around backwards? That's fine. Just do that." And then, as he began to lower his head and relax, he allowed him to go forward. And they built on that one step forward and built on it one step at a time. But he was very dangerous, and had I not had a very experienced and highly, you know,
nimble,
very good horseman, we would have, we were outmanned. Struck as the horse thinking you're not worthy or you're a no good son of a gun. Just keep on working and keep on waiting. And things will begin to fall together for you. Go ahead, Anna.